What is going on, everybody? It is July 31st. We are back with another round of Halloween Horror Nights construction updates here at Universal Studios Florida. From what I have heard, there is quite a few things going on, so I'm not going to waste any time. Let's go ahead and get started. Up here in this front section, it does look like we've got a few new lights up here on these big light towers in the front. Not too much, really, just a couple of new lights, I think. Not really too much going on up here. And before we even walk into the park, we can see some new updates already. They've got these trusses installed here in the production central, or whatever this area up here by the Today Cafe is called. Just some kind of basic trucks where it gets started. I'm sure they'll have the big glorious Halloween Horror Nights neon sign that everybody loves mounted up on top of it. They've also put a new light up here on top of the Today Cafe store as well. Got a few new additions to this stage here in New York. We've got some lights that they've added in here at the bottom. And in addition, they've got this little stage with handrails for them to kind of have some performers, some characters walking up on here, and they'll be using this little piece in the back with the handrails. I think we've got a few new lights over here on top of the tribute store that they've added in. Some of these light fixtures were here before and only had a couple of lights, and then they added some new lights to the fixtures themselves. So looks kind of the same, but they've definitely added some more lights in here. I'm pretty sure they've added these lights up here on top of Sting Alley as well. Walking into San Francisco, we can already see a few updates. They've installed these big Blumhouse stages, pretty much confirming that this is going to be the Blumhouse scare zone. Got this cool neon strip lighting up against these edges here. It's pretty cool looking. Should be nice once it's all lit up and spooky over here. The texture of the paint on this is really interesting. It's all splattered, very Blumhouse. Kind of excited to see what they do with this area. Opposite of that Blumhouse stage, it looks like we've got this big structure here. Looks like there's stairs behind it. Maybe a character is going to walk up here and kind of present something from this top section here. I don't know. We'll see what happens. No stairs behind it. They have a barrel here right now. Might be just kind of weight to hold things down. Maybe they'll add some stairs or something in here later, but yeah. So maybe just kind of a decorative set piece. This piece of truss work was not here earlier. Got some lights that they've installed up here on the top of it. They've installed a ton of lighting at the top of this truss work over here too at the entrance. For this main truss work section here in San Francisco, they've added these boxes to the bottom to hide the bases, a little bit of theming and decoration. It's got that same textured paint that the big BH stage in front has, same texture on it. Up here on top of this big stage thing, they've installed some more equipment up there. Not too sure what that is, maybe a fog machine or some lights or something. We will find out in about a month. And they've added a bunch more lights to the top of this truss work at the exit of the scare zone as well. And over here by the exit of the scare zone, we've got another one of these decorative set pieces. It's kind of interesting. It's like plaster and stucco with like old school wood paneling behind it. I'm interested to see what they're going to do with all this. And at the exit of the scare zone, we've got another one of these Blumhouse BH stages as well. Exact replica of the first one. Let's go ahead and head behind Lombard's and see if they've added anything new back there. Yeah, not too much going on back here yet. I'm sure they'll get the peacock bar set up at some point soon here, but just the trusses and some basic lighting for right now. Let's head back into Diagon Alley real quick and see if they've added anything back there. I didn't come over this way last time, but they've got some new set pieces over in this area as well by the Celestino Warbeck, or however you say that name, stage show. This is where the Death Eaters come out of, so they've added some more set dressings here. You can see the lights in the cabinet back there, so. And they've added some theming and stuff to these set pieces where the lights are over by the stairwell and the dragon and Gringotts and all that. Over here outside of the ice cream shop, they've added another set piece as well. Have some lights and smoke coming out of this one. There we go. A bunch of people were sitting on this stuff last time, but these are the set pieces back here in Nocturne Alley for the Death Eater stuff. Heading back towards the Nightmare Fuel stage, it looks like we've got some new lights up here on top of the truss work that they've added in there. I think I missed this last time, but over here on top of the sign for the Nightmare Fuel stage, they've added some lights up there as well. And some lights on the top of this truss work by the bathrooms as well. We have swung around here to the front side of Central Park to approach it from the right direction, and they have added a ton. Right off the bat, they've got a bunch of netting and I forgot what you call this stuff. I forgot what you call this stuff, but they've had a lot of that all over the place here. We've got a boat now in front of this truss work, half a barrel. Got some like swamp stalagmites, stalactites, whichever one these are. They're adding a ton. Then they got more of that netting and green stuff on this fence as well. Stuff is everywhere in here. And they've added all this green, mossy type stuff onto these wires running across these trusses here that we talked about last week. Okay. Some more of this paneling and netting all across here in the front of this section. Basically the whole fence along this path here through Central Park has this netting and green stuff now. And then coming over here to where this boat sunken into the water thing is, they've added some barrels onto the sides of the stage as well. A couple more of these stalagmites, stalactites, whichever one these are. Got some barrels at the base of this truss over here by the preview center, the Embassy Preview Center. Some nice theming elements to this stage over here by the treehouse thing. They've got these pillars that they've added here. Another barrel, stalagmites. I looked it up, so I'm not saying the wrong thing. It's stalagmites. But yeah, they've got some of these pillars that they've added out here. Stalagmites kind of surrounding all these set pieces. I think they've got a barrel back there too. What they did is they took the barrel off the top of this stage and they moved it over here onto this little platform in front of this treehouse thing that's over here. So they've added these boxes down here and then they put that barrel here. Interesting. Oh, and then down here at the base, it looks like they've added some theming to the sandbags down there, some netting over it. Some more barrels and stalagmites by this boat sunken in the water set piece. They've added an overturned boat with some barrels next to it over here. It's kind of in this area. Got some pillars over here as well. Really going for the, you're definitely gonna make it feel like you're walking through the water for sure, especially with all these pillars. And on the other side, we've got another overturned boat with a random tire over here on the end of it. By this stage over here at the end of the scare zone, they've added in some more stalagmites, barrel, set pieces, and stuff along the fence here behind it. Really filling in everything. This scare zone is definitely the most themed so far. I think it might be the most themed in general for the whole event, honestly. They've added these like random branches sticking up as well throughout the scare zone. And finally over here by the exit to the scare zone, we've got some more barrels. Add a couple little set pieces back there, the kind of doors and stuff. Some more stalagmites on this side. Take a quick pass through Battery Park. I don't think there's anything going on in here. I do see some new lights or speakers up on top of these trusses, but I think that's pretty much it. And we'll take a quick pass through Hollywood to see if they've added anything over here. The only thing I see that they've added here since the last time is these speakers up on top of this truss work here. And that is going to do it for today's video. We are about a month away from the event right now, so we should really start to see some action happening with the rest of those scare zones. Pretty sure Swamp of the Undead is pretty much finished at this point, but yeah, hopefully see some action on those other scare zones soon. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you next time.